Hey guys, so this is going to be my peripartum cardiomyopathy video. Peripartum cardiomyopathy is a heart condition that I have. I was diagnosed with it 5 days after I had him. It's just basically heart failure. At least that's how it was explained to me. But I'm going to read what I found on the internet and then how I've been dealing with it, how I interpret it to be, and things of that nature. So I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. And if you hear some noise in the background, it's just my son. He's in another room and I had to baby monitor. So peripartum cardiomyopathy is also known as PPCM. It is a form of dilated cardiomyopathy, which is the deterioration in the cardiac function. Typically, you're diagnosed with it within the last months of pregnancy and up to 5 months postpartum. It involves dysfunction of the heart with a decrease in the left ventricular ejection fraction associated with congestive heart failure. And it also has an increased risk of atrial and ventricular arrhythmias, I don't know. Whatever, it's a blockage of blood vessels by a blood clot, and even sudden cardiac death. Okay, so I went to the hospital. Well, actually, I got released from the hospital on Mother's Day, May 13th, and when I was released, my blood pressure was still high, and what else was wrong with me? I think they said I was breathing fast or something like that. But they said that it was just part of the postpartum. It'll go away and I'll heal up soon. This being my first pregnancy, I really didn't think too much of it. I trusted, the hospital staff and the doctors for what they said. I trusted my OBGYN that he knew what he was doing and that everything would be okay. My blood pressure actually became high when I was exactly 40 weeks pregnant because I had a doctor's appointment that exact day. And I believe it was like 170 or 180 over like 110 or something like that. So it was pretty high. My doctor said that it was just because my body is working more than it normally does, and he didn't see anything wrong with it. He wanted me to go to 42 weeks, but luckily my water broke and I went to 41 weeks. So anywho, I was discharged on the 13th. I was still having high blood pressure and my breathing was still fast. They didn't give me anything for it. And like they said, it was part of postpartum, so my body would heal on its own. My son had a doctor's appointment that Tuesday. He had a doctor's appointment because what the hell? Oh, just to have a doctor's appointment. The doctor wanted to see him Tuesday. So I took him in Tuesday and he was fine. The doctor's appointment was fine. Actually, I was diagnosed 4 days after I had him. Wednesday, I went into the emergency room because I thought I was having an asthma attack. I was having shortness of breath, and I have a history of asthma, so I just thought it was an asthma flare-up. So that was the 16th. On the 17th, I went back to the hospital and I was admitted. I told them I thought I was having another asthma attack, and I didn't want to be seen for asthma. Even though I thought it was an asthma attack, I wanted them to figure out what was wrong because I was already in there not even 24 hours before, and I had already had to be rushed back because I just couldn't breathe. I couldn't do anything. Walk into the bathroom took my breath away. Laying on my back, I was gasping literally for air, trying to figure out where I was going to get air from. So it was pretty scary, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. So one of the ladies, the nurses at the hospital, was just telling me all these horrible things that was wrong with me. Even though she didn't know what was wrong with me, she still, I guess she was like, wanted to inform me just in case. So she was just telling me all these things about how I could die and just so much stuff. And I'm still processing the fact that I just had a baby. So I really was not in the mood and I was really scared. So finally, I want to say around like 2 something, 3 something in the morning, they did test on my heart. They gave me an ultrasound. They gave me a whole bunch of other stuff, and they basically looked into my chest area, and they saw a lot of fluids. And then they also saw that my heart was not pumping the right amount of blood that it should be. I think they say usually your heart pumps about 50 or 60% of the blood. Mine was only pumping 40. So as soon as they figured that out, I was instantly admitted. I got a drug called Lasix that they put in the IV, and it drains the fluid from my lungs, because the fluid buildup is what was preventing me from breathing properly. So anytime I do anything such as getting out of the bed, laying down, trying to pick up my son, trying to go to the bathroom, walking, anything of that nature, I was just wiped out. I couldn't breathe. Like, I was just gasping for air. So they figured out what it was, which was the fluid, and they gave me the Lasix right away. I think they were doing Lasix about, I want to say about every 3, I don't remember how many hours they were doing it, but it was quite often because I had a lot of fluid buildup. They said that it came from my high blood pressure. Because my blood pressure was so high, my body was just not functioning at all like it should have been. And I knew that having high blood pressure was a risk, but I didn't know it was to that extent. So then once they did the draining of the Lasix for the first time, they also gave me a 2 pills for my heart, and they came in and told me my heart wasn't pumping the right amount of blood, so they need to get my heart back to normal. So once I was admitted, I got to rest for a little while, and then they wanted to draw more blood and check for any STDs and any infections and all this stuff they do at the hospital when you're admitted. So the guy came in and did all that, and then another lady came in, and then she drained more fluids and gave me potassium. Now when I'm not still on the Lasix per se, but it's just a take it when you need it type of thing now, because the fluid is gone and my heart doctor doesn't think it's going to come back. So when on Lasix, you do have to take potassium. Lasix drains every fluid, juice, whatever is in your body, and your potassium level is very, very, very low. They give you a white pill. It's about this big maybe, and it's just a potassium pill, and you just take it 1 time a day and you're fine. With the Lasix, the pill is it's a round pill about this big maybe, I don't know, it's pretty small, and it makes you use the bathroom a lot. Not a number 2, just pee a lot, and that's just the fluid just coming out of you. So I was on it pretty heavy, and when I was in the hospital, I was going to the bathroom like every 2 to 3 minutes. I didn't know I even had that much fluid in me. So that was that. Then with the heart pill, it just, helps your heart to function properly. Usually they say that with this, they call it a disorder. So with this disorder, it can take up to 5 months for it to heal properly. My heart doctor didn't see for it to be that bad, so she thought within a couple of weeks, after seeing her, it would be better. So when I was discharged from the hospital, my heart was at 40%, still pumping 40% in the blood. So, and my blood pressure was slightly elevated, but it was not as high as it was. So they did put me on blood pressure medicine. They gave me a new inhaler. They put me on Lasix, potassium pill, and the heart pill. So I was basically on 4 pills. So once I saw my heart doctor, she said that I should be fine and come back. And I think it was like, she wanted me to come back in 3 weeks, but she was out 1 week, so I had to wait 4 weeks. I went back and everything was the exact same way. Nothing had changed. My heart is still at 40%. So I go back in December and I get a full chest scan, heart scan, to see actually where the deterioration is in my heart and see what they can do to fix it. At this stage, I cannot have any more kids, so I have to get an IUD placed in me, which lasts up to 5 years. So I get that done Monday. I have to be on some type of birth control to make sure that I don't have any babies, because I am considered, if I do get pregnant, I will be high risk, and it's a possibility that I can actually die giving birth. So they don't want me to risk it, and they don't want me to get pregnant at this stage, because my heart will just keep decreasing throughout the pregnancy, and they won't know how my heart is once I give birth. So that's where that is with that. With the fluid, as far as that goes, the fluid is gone. When I was in the hospital, I was on a low sodium diet. I decided to go ahead and stick with that diet since I got to the hospital. I was supposed to stick to it anyway, and then my heart doctor told me, it's fine, you don't have to worry about it. But I felt the healthier choice for me would be to stick with it and see what I can do, because hopefully if I stick to that, maybe it'll make my heart better. And I still want to be there for my son. He is my everything, and I'm not trying to do something stupid and then end up losing everything that I have. So that's where that is. I am still on the heart medicine. I am not on the blood pressure medicine. My blood pressure, I was on that medicine for 30 days. After that, my blood pressure was back to, actually my blood pressure was getting too low on the blood pressure medicine, so she actually took me off. The heart pill, I am still on my heart pill every day. Excuse me. It's just one little pill, and I just take that after I eat, and then I'll go for the rest of the day. So I go back in 6 months, 6 months from last month, which would be December, and I go ahead and get the full scan done. Praying that everything goes back to normal, and that I'll be able to have more kids in the future. We don't want any more kids until about 4 or 5 years anyway, so it's good to go anyway with the IUD. But that's basically it. Living with this heart condition is very scary to me, because I never know what can happen. I'm always concerned. It's like I want to get a little pocket chest thing and just look at my heart every day and be like, okay, are you pumping normally? What's going on there? But I can't do that, so I just have to be cautious of everything that I eat and make sure that I exercise and just watch everything that I do. But it can be very scary. Luckily my heart is not where, well, my OBGYN said that some people can walk around with their heart being 15% or less. And if my heart gets that bad, then I will have to get, I think, either a heart transplant or the machine that they place in your heart to, help you out. But thankfully, it's not that bad. And I pray that it doesn't get that bad. So that is the end of this video. That's the heart condition that I have. And like I said, it's called Peripartum Cardiomyopathy. and I was diagnosed with mine about 4 or 5 days after I had my baby. So it was pretty scary. Being away from my son was just awful, especially after just having him. But I'm glad that I'm back and that everything is going okay. I haven't been to the hospital since, being released. Thank God. I don't want to go to the hospital for anything. But other than that, I'm fine. I feel fine. I do go out for walks. Try to get that in every day. Like I said, I do stick to a low sodium diet. I don't have to weigh myself every day. I did have to weigh myself every day because they said if you gain like 3 to 5 pounds within the next 2 or 3 days, then that means the fluid could be building back up. But I wasn't gaining anything. I was actually losing. And I guess that could be coming from the breastfeeding and the LASIK. So I'm not sure. And then watch my stress level. Try not to get upset as much about stuff. But it's kind of hard. But I have to do what I have to do. So that is it with this video. Hope it wasn't too long and boring, but whatever. It's my heart condition. I feel like I should let y'all know since I keep talking about it. But that is it. I will see you all next week for my 2-month updates. And then I also am going to be doing a day in the life of a stay-at-home mom who's also going to school full-time online. So I'll be doing that video next week. And rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys next week.